Chapter 1. Before Albany, Georgia became a civil rights flashpoint in the early 1960s, it was simply a small southern city, segregated as any other, but special in the sense that it was, and had been since its founding over 130 years before, a gateway to the lower part of the state. The way from Albany to the sea, through the scrub pine and sandy loam of the eastern coastal plain, is popularly referred to as the Velvet Corridor. Not because of its slow, lazy climate, its vistas of heavy summer haze hanging on the broad, open fields and snaking rivers, but because it's plantation country. For the better part of 100 years, powerful and wealthy white families established themselves throughout the corridor. The postal registry reads like pages from the social register. Rockefeller, Morgan, Mellon, Whitney, Vanderbilt, Windsor. There was another side, of course, to those vistas of wealth and easy living. In the shadows of the great main houses lay the shacks and cabins of former slaves, sharecroppers, and tenant farmers, those whose dependency on the great families had not changed even with the end of slavery. For anyone born to a sharecropper's cabin, as the members of Jackie Robinson's family were at the beginning of this century in Cairo, a town in the southern part of the corridor, the look of the area was doubly formidable. The corridor was more newly settled than other areas, but less likely, because of its geography, to permit mobility or escape. To the east, the land was bordered by the thick, impenetrable reaches of the great Okefenokee Swamp. To the west, by a dense wall of overgrown Alabama forest. To the south, by the sea. To the north, by the Piedmont Plateau and the Appalachian Mountains. From spring to fall, it was punishingly hot, with days of blazing sun and carpet-thick air, relieved only by inundating rainstorms followed by pestilential swarms of insects. The difficult life of a southern black sharecropping family in the first decades of this century, and especially in an area such as the Velvet Corridor, is today nearly beyond the reach of imagination, white or black. W.E.B. Du Bois, the editor of the NAACP's magazine Crisis, felt he'd come upon the landscape of another planet when he traveled through Georgia south of Albany. The area, Du Bois knew from his studies, was the very center of the so-called Black Belt. No other state in the Union, he wrote in 1903, can count 1 million Negroes among its citizens, a population as large as the slave population of the whole Union in 1800. The apex of this country was Albany, and then south of it, going through the heart of the corridor, Du Bois wrote, "The whole land seems forlorn and forsaken. Here are the remnants of the vast plantations of the Sheldons, the Pellets, and the Rensons. But the souls of them are past. The houses lie in half ruin or have wholly disappeared. Yonder stretch the wide acres of Bildad Reeser. And now only the black tenant remains, but the shadow hand of the master's grandnephew or cousin or creditor stretches out of the gray distance to collect the rack rent remorselessly. So the land is uncared for and poor. Only black tenants can stand such a system, and then only because they must. 10 miles we've ridden today and seen no white face." To Du Bois, a Northerner, this landscape demonstrated the dividing line between white and black, the veil, a symbol that expressed the many-sidedness of racism. "The problem of the 20th century," he wrote then, "is the problem of the color line." The division between white and black, as Du Bois saw it, was total. It was economic, social, psychological. Its centuries-old history reached back to Africa and